Hi everyone, welcome to Rap Buzz. So it's been raining cats and dogs since the past few days, but finally today we've got this chance to review the Skoda Kushaq. So let's see what it has got for us.
The looks of the Kushaq are its biggest plus point. The face looks quite aggressive with the sleek all-LED headlights. There's also this fog lamp placed very close to the headlight setup that makes it look very catchy. Kushaq gets the traditional Skoda grille and bumper gets sharp design, and all of that contribute towards giving it a smart looking face. Side profile too looks great. The 17-inch alloy wheels look very elegant. Tire size on this one is 205/55 R17. The body has lots of creases and lines to give character to the Kushaq. On the fender you get Kushaq badging as well. From certain angles one can mistakenly take the Kushaq for a sub 4 meter SUV, but it certainly does not fall into that category. The Kushaq looks smart from the rear as well. The wrap-around taillights really give it an upmarket feel. There's the new Skoda lettering on the back, and down you see the Kushaq badging on the left, along with thick chrome strip that runs across the length of the boot and blends with the reflectors on either sides. Badges on this particular car have been done in black due to some reasons, but you will get only chrome badges in the stock car. Overall, the new Skoda SUV looks quite amazing and probably the best in its segment. Let's see what the interiors have got for us. The interiors of the Skoda Kushaq is a big step up from the previous generation Skoda cars. The dashboard is beautifully laid out with lots of contours and design elements. The infotainment screen is neatly placed on the dash. It gets all the latest connectivity features and actually feels quite good to use. It's smooth and fluid and is lag-free. Moving down, and there you see the air conditioning controls. There's this nice touch slider to adjust the fan speed. The two-spoke steering may look weird at first, but it's nice to hold, and the rotatory knobs, although look good, could have been of a slightly better quality. The gauge cluster looks like it has been lifted from the Skodas of the past. We at least could have gotten a colored MID considering the price point. In-cabin storage space is adequate, and you get a dedicated wireless charger for your mobile phone. The vehicle gets USB-C ports all around. Then you get ventilated seats function, which actually is effective unlike some of the cars that we have experienced before. It's truly a boon in the summers. The Kushaq should have been provided with 6 airbags in the top spec automatic variant. Let's talk about the rear seat. The contouring has been done by keeping 2 people in mind. If only 2 people sit at the back, it will be a wonderful experience for them. There are dedicated AC vents, USB-C port, bottle holders, rear armrest and the likes. The seat has good under-thigh support, but the seat back doesn't recline. Legroom is great too. As soon as you fit the third passenger, that's where the problem begins. The middle seat is hard, coupled with aggressive contouring, and a narrow body means the middle passenger would certainly not enjoy the ride. Seems like it's a place meant for kids. And did we mention it also gets a sunroof? And it's not a panoramic one, but is still decently big. Boot space is decent as well. It's nicely shaped and can gobble up good amount of luggage on the go. The car is powered by a 1.5-litre TSI unit that also does duty in the Volkswagen T-Roc and the Skoda Karoq. This is quite a technologically advanced unit. It has cylinder deactivation technology, where two cylinders shut off on lighter loads to aid efficiency. This works seamlessly. Unless you look down upon the cluster, you won't even notice. Talking about the performance, the gearbox has been tuned for conservative launches to preserve clutch life. The vehicle creeps forward, and due to good low end, it's a good city crawler. The mid-range is where the real punch lies. It accelerates fast, but the acceleration is linear and there's no sudden rush of power. The car shifts gear without anyone noticing, it's that quick. Bringing the paddles to use makes it even more fun.
If you are a first-time Skoda owner, you will quite like this steering. It is sufficiently confident and inspiring while not being cumbersome to use at low speed.
The Kushaq has typical German suspension we feel. It's slightly on the stiffer side at low speeds, and as speeds increase, it flattens bumps beautifully well. The stability at higher speeds is a typical Skoda attribute that it has retained. The car stays composed even during cornering and doesn't feel like a tall crossover to drive. It's a damn good car to throw around the corner. The Kushaq has a light steering at parking speeds. At higher speeds, it does wear better than its Korean competition, but being a Skoda owner, I can tell you a fact, it's lighter than before. The regular Joe will like this tuning, but if you are a Volkswagen Group lover, you may be slightly disappointed by this one. Don't get me wrong, the steering is confidence inspiring at high speeds. It's just that we expected Skoda to be slightly better in this department.
When you cruise at higher speeds, two-cylinder gets deactivated to save fuel. As soon as you put your pedal to the metal, all the four-cylinder gets activated and it's quite seamless.
Its rivals offer all-round disc, while on paper Kushaq may be down as it loses rear discs, but reality says something else. The car has better braking performance than its rivals. It just stops in its lines so well, no overly sensitive ABS sensor, the feel at pedal is good, and the bite is spot on. The Skoda Kushaq is a made-for-India vehicle. The vehicle let us down slightly in the interior department, primarily due to poor plastic quality used at places. Also, some additional features which its sibling, the Taygun, will get could have been offered, and Skoda can maybe bring a LNK version with those features in the near future. But apart from that, as soon as you drive the car, you forget all of that, and it's definitely a Skoda to drive.
The leg space is good and the ride as you increase the speed gets better and better. It's a typical Skoda ride quality.
I am totally mesmerized by the driving experience. I would go as far as saying it's the most fun to drive vehicle in its segment. It's that good and could introduce many first-time buyers to what German driving experience is.
Thank you so much for tuning into Rough Buzz. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Rev Buzz to never miss any updates.